all of you, and let's do some beautiful problem as you can see in the thumbnail. So the first one is, does there exist a function f from real to real world such that f3x equals x cube and f5x equals x5 for every x belonging to real number? Now the major idea behind this problem is the associativity of the function. You know, in general, fog is not golf, right? It means if I'll take, let's say, f of x as sine of x and g of x as x square. So if I'll calculate f of g of x, so that will give me sine x square, and this is not in general equals to sine x whole square, which is g of f of x. So in general, functions are not commutative, right? But the beauty of composition of function is they are indeed associative. So if I'll take f of g of h of x, which is fog of h of x, it will be same as f of g of h of x, right? So whether you first take the composition of h with g and then f, or you first take fog of x, this will be some, it will give some output, and that output you send to the H machine. Okay, so we'll get again some final output. So finally we'll get all output to be exactly same. So in general, what we are having is fog x, though it's not commutative, but it is associative. Now this is not only regarding to the function, because in general it's true even for matrix as well. So let's try this question. So using this associativity rule, what we can do is we can club f of f 5 times into a partitioning of 2 and 3, right? So what I mean is we can actually club f of f first and then f of this remaining quantity, and since we know that is already x cube, so this entire quantity is nothing but x cube, so hence we have f of x equals x cube. So hence what we can write is f of x cube is going to give me x5. Now of course I can write this as x cube as t, so we'll get f of t equals x cube equals t, x is t to the power 1 by 3rd, so that gives t to the power 5 by 3, right? So with this relation, since t is a dummy variable, I can tell f of x is x to the power 5 over 3. Now what about getting the function f? Again, you can take composition on both sides. So either I can replace x with f of x, or what we can do, we can take f on both sides. So taking f on both sides, we get f3x, which according to the question is x cube, and that is f x to the power 5. तो यहाँ से x equals 5 to the power 3 by 5 वो आप पुट कर दो तो x cube आ जाएगा 5 to the power 9 by 5 equals f of 5. So hence finally we got the existence of the function, as we have a unique function f of x which will satisfy this function relation and is given by x to the power 9 by 5. So it was not much difficult question, and I have promised I will not do any question which is not relevant for JEE Advanced, मेंस और ISI और CMI. तो ये बेसिक से आप इसको सॉल्व कर सकते थे. तो यहाँ पे जो टेक अवे था वो था composition of functions. Associativity is something which you should not take it for granted. Okay, and same goes for commutativity. Actually, the way I explain commutativity is order matters in life, right? So whether you put on shoes then socks is different from putting on socks then shoes. Okay, you know the consequences will be entirely different. So in general, the operations in mathematics also usually do not follow commutative rule, as you have seen in language of matrices and language of function. But in language of complex numbers, if I take two complex numbers z1 and z2, so clearly z1 z2 product is commutative. Okay, so commutativity is very fundamental. Let's try another problem, and this problem is from limit, and it's again beautifully created. So the way we will approach this problem is to first understand this. We want limit x tends to 0 f of 2024 by g of 2024, or 2014 by g of 2014, or in general we can ask limit x tends to g. Let's say if you're writing exam in 2025, so this question can be kept. right? Now how to go about this? Now clearly let's start with the smaller case. So let's play first, and let's keep n equals 1. So if I'll keep n equals 1, with n equal to 1, I want to calculate limit x tends to 0 f1x by g1x. अब f1 तक पहुंचने का एक जरिया है, इसमें अगर मैं n को 0 कर दूं, बिकॉज n इज अलाउड टू गो फ्रॉम 0 टू इन्फिनिटी, तो n 0 करूं तो f1x I'll get as ln of 1 plus in that functional relation 3f naught x whole square, and similarly g1x is ln of 1 plus 5 g naught x whole square. तो यहाँ से जो मेरे पास फंक्शंस क्रिएट हो रहे हैं, आप अगर इसको चेक करोगे तो एफ नॉट एक्स इज एक्स एंड जी नॉट एक्स इज ऑल्सो एक्स, राइट? सो विल गेट ln of 1 plus 3x square, and other guy is ln over 1 plus 5x square. Now it's a standard limit question. So if we'll do f1g by g1, so basically it's coming out to be this over this, and limit x tends to 0. I'm solving here only क्योंकि आपको ये फील आ जाएगा. और now it is clearly in 0 by 0 form, actually tending 0 by tending 0 form, ठीक है, tending 0 by tending 0 form में. तो यहाँ से क्या कर सकते हैं, आई कैन यूज लॉपिटल्स. लॉपिटल जैसे ही आप लगाइएगा तो 1 plus 3x square into 36x divided by 1 plus 5x square into 5 into 2 into x which is 10x. x कैंसिल हो गया, x tends to 0, तो दिस क्वांटिटी is already 0. I can apply this because limit of sum is sum of limit if both limit exist. तो यहाँ पे all these limit existed, that's why I can apply that limit property. तो finally मेरा आंसर जो आया वो आया 3/5. Okay, so this is for f1x. अब similarly how to do it for f2x? So f2x को भी मैं यहाँ से फाइंड कर सकता हूँ. तो f2x divided by g2x जो होगा वो limit x tends to 0. Again you can see it will go to 0 by 0 form. वो आप क्लियरली चेक कर सकते हो क्योंकि if fn is going towards 0 then fn plus 1 is also going towards 0, and so if gn is going towards 0 so ln 1 is also going towards 0, right? तो यहाँ से what I'll get 1 by 1 plus 2 times f1x whole square into f1 dash x divided by 1 plus 1 by 3 times g1x and into of course f1x आ जाएगा 2 into 3, राइट? और ये आ जाएगा 1 by 1 plus 3 times g1x and times g1x whole square times 2 into 5 into g1x, just I'm differentiating into g1 dash x. Okay, limit x tends to 0. और अगर आप ये कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो तो ये बच जा रहा है 3/5. तो इन जनरल यू कैन सी द पैटर्न, और यूजिंग इंडक्शन यू कैन प्रूव इट विच आई विल डू एट लास्ट. तो आप इंडक्शन से भी पैटर्न से भी देख सकते हो. x टेंस टू 0 जो हो रहा है मेरे पास fn(x) बाय gn(x) that is going to be limit x tends to 0 using L'Hopital's rule f1 dash x by gn dash x, and by this chain reaction finally we are getting 3/5 to the power 2n minus 1, right? is to the power 2n minus 1. तो यहाँ से जो फाइनल मेरा आंसर आया इस प्रॉब्लम के लिए वो आ रहा है, if it is 2014 then is 3 raised to power 2 raised to power 2014 minus 1 divided by 5 raised to power 2 raised to power 2014 minus 1. Similarly, instead of 2014 you can put 2025 to get the answer for that problem. Now if you want to have a recursion step अगर आपको चाहिए, so those who want to directly feel like why it's happening, तो आप देख सकते हो fn dash x जो होगा and gn plus 1 dash x तो ये क्वांटिटी आपका आ गया लिमिट n टेंस टू 0, और उसको डिफ्रेंशिएट कर दो 1/3 टाइम्स ऑफ आई एम राइटिंग fn by fn होल स्क्वायर डिवाइडेड बाय 1/1 plus 5 टाइम्स ऑफ gn होल स्क्वायर. अब यहाँ से इंटू इस डेरिवेटिव 2 into 3 into fn डैश डिवाइडेड बाय 2 into 5 into gn dash. अब इसको आप सिंप्लीफाई कर सकते हो, बिकॉज दिस क्वांटिटी वी कैन सेपरेट, दिस सेपरेट बिकॉज लिमिट एग्जिस्ट, सिंस लिमिट एग्जिस्ट सो लिमिट एक्स टेंस टू 0 f plus g can be written as limit x tends to 0 f plus limit x tends to 0 g. Again, the sum of limit is limit of sum if and only both limit exists, and this is not something which is okay like too much stressed upon during your JEE preparation, but that's really very important ideas. क्योंकि ऐसा होता है ना, आप लिमिट पढ़ने वक्त में इस टाइप का कन्फ्यूजन बच्चे को आता है. Limit x tends to 0, let's say x minus sin x by x cube. Then one child will tell like let's write it x by x cube minus sin x by x cube. फिर x by x cube तो 1 by x square हो गया, sin x by x into 1 by x square लिख लो, sin x by x is 1, so 1 by x square minus 1 by x square, answer should be 0. Where is the mistake? अब देखो मिस्टेक ये लाइन में है, आप इसको सेपरेट नहीं कर सकते हो, तो 0 इसका गलत आंसर है. ऐसा इसलिए हुआ क्योंकि आप लिमिट ऑफ सम को सम ऑफ लिमिट यहाँ पे लिख रहे हो. इनफैक्ट सम इज ऑल्सो डिफरेंस, सो लिमिट ऑफ डिफरेंस को डिफरेंस ऑफ लिमिट लिख रहे हो, बट हेयर नन ऑफ दिस लिमिट एग्जिस्ट, क्योंकि ये भी इन्फाइनाइट को चेंज कर रहा है, ये भी इन्फाइनाइट को, तो आप ऐसे नहीं लिख सकते हो. ठीक है, तो यू हैव टू अबाइड बाय द लॉ ऑफ लिमिट. यूजुअली लिमिट का जो बेसिक आइडियाज है दैट कम्स फ्रॉम इप्सा डेल्टा डेफिनेशन ऑफ लिमिट, यूजुअली विच इज़ नॉट टॉट एट JEE लेवल, तो फिर उससे आपको एक कॉन्सेप्चुअल गैप क्रिएट होता है. So I strongly believe like even if it is not taught, लेकिन उसको logically a teacher should enforce that ideas in a student. So I hope you are enjoying the session. If you want to join the course for more problem solving of quality content, so you can join my paid course in the WhatsApp link given in the description. Thank you. Have a good day.